of the Turkish Prime Minister, and he told us the government has in fact ordered an inquiry into claims that the police used excessive force against the protesters.
Well, first of all, the police have just been ordered to withdraw from the areas. They're leaving the premises there of the park. In fact, there are some marginal groups who are attacking the police. I'm also watching the same pictures here, and I just spoke to the officials there also. There are some of these groups attacking the police while the police themselves are withdrawing from the area. In fact, they have let the citizens in.
But there has been anger towards the police since the day these protests began, in fact. And there's been criticism that the police is using such excessive violence.
Yes, and you don't have to be shouting at me. Let me just answer it. I know your question here. But the point is that, before this event started, 3 days ago, police and other officials, the mayor, the governor of Istanbul, everybody spent at least 3 days trying to persuade these protesters to leave the premises, because the decision to develop this area, the so-called the Taksim Park, was taken almost 4 months ago at the municipal level with the support of all the members of the city parliament, with the exception of the Republican Party, the main opposition party. And they started working on this, and what they did 2 days ago was to remove some of the trees from the premises to other areas. So there was no cutting of the trees, but in fact they were removing them and moving them to other places. But I know the issue has now gone beyond the tree. Nobody's talking about the park, but it's important, I think, for your viewers also to know the background as to how this event started in the first place. And now we can see that they are trying to turn this into a massive protest against the government. Of course, they're entitled.
Right, because there is, in fact, Mr. Kalın, a growing wave of discontent among the protesters. They say that they're unhappy with the increasingly authoritarian rule by the AK Party, including, as we've seen in the past couple of weeks, the tightening of restrictions, for example, on alcohol, as well as warnings against public displays of affection. So this has just been building up.
Yes, in fact, you have to look at this case by case. If you look at the alcohol ban law, in fact, there is no banning of alcohol in Turkey. What this new law introduces are the international standards. You go anywhere in the world, any developed country, from London, UK to the United States, anywhere in the world, there are restrictions on the use and purchase of alcohol. After certain hours, you cannot buy alcohol individually.
Right, I don't want to focus on the alcohol. I was just using that as an example. It's really the authoritarian rule by the government that the protesters are very unhappy about. But let me just ask you, Sir, let me just ask you then, what will the government do right now? Will the government come out and offer any concessions? Erdogan did speak a few moments.
Ma'am, you just raised an accusation against the government saying that you are becoming authoritarian because of the alcohol ban.
This is an accusation that is put forward by the protesters and demonstrators. But let's just go back to the question. And if you can tell me what the government is going to do, what are the next steps the government is going to take to appease what's going on the streets?
Let me answer your first question, because you put out the accusation there and you're not allowing me to answer that question. You are saying that, the government is becoming, according to the protesters, more authoritarian because of Y, X, Y, Z. And one of the examples you gave is the alcohol ban. I was trying to explain to you and to your viewers that, in fact, the new law introduces the international standards on the purchase and use of alcohol. It's simple as that. There is nothing authoritarian about it. In regards to the events, the police have just been ordered to withdraw from the areas. Now they are leaving the premises, the citizens are going in there, and that's fine. But it took us 3 days to find some counterparts among the demonstrators to speak to them about starting a dialogue about the development project, but they are not listening to it anymore. Yes, as the Prime Minister said this morning, the police have used excessive force, and the Interior Ministry has launched an investigation into it.
Right,
and the police have been ordered to act within the confines of the law and public order. But the police have to be there, obviously, to maintain public order.
You say the police have to maintain public order, but the pictures we are looking at coming out from Istanbul does not point to police maintaining public order when they are using tear gas against the protesters.
They're not using tear gas anymore. It happened yesterday, as I said.
It just happened a few moments ago. I have to differ with you, because we were looking at it a few moments ago, and police were using tear gas just a few moments ago.
Well, you're showing the end tail of the picture. Just a few minutes before that, some of these small groups were attacking the police as the police were leaving the premises. So what are the police supposed to do?
well, a true democracy, sir, allow me, doesn't use excessive violence against its citizens.
A true democracy doesn't allow citizens to attack the police either.